Hi, in this case, we're sort of getting into section 5 here, which is retail environment selling. And in this particular story, this follows a case where I was involved in helping to systematically start to sell a regional building um, material chain of stores. Um, and we had a particular category of product, and they were trying to buy this direct, put it in a local public warehouse, and they could not get it to the stores in time. So they had chronic stockouts of these problems, and they had too much in the distribution center. So we said, well, look, this is what we do. We're already buying many more truckloads on an annual basis than you are, so we better flow through. So, on a cost plus basis, here's how it all works. And it did. It was fantastic. I mean, year over year sales went up 30% because they just had the stuff in stock. But then, some new central buying kind of guy came in, and there was a new wind blowing, and the policy was, all right, let's, automatically go slow on everybody and come up with 25 different solutions, reasons as to why we're not going to pay on time or we need some sort of accommodation. And the goal was to try to get an extra 3% off of every supplier on price or terms kind of thing. And it was ridiculous and it was crazy. So at a particular trade association kind of meeting, I ran into a competitor and sort of planted the seed that, hey, selling, retailers and fill-in business was really good business and we were having success. Didn't really mention any specific names, but we had huge territory overlap. And the next time we sort of came for bid, we just priced it way high and bowed out. And this guy picked it up and obviously got hammered. And over here I have a picture of a beet where you're trying to get blood out of, or a turnip, blood out of a turnip, to sort of get dollars. And long term, it doesn't work out. And I would say that when this happened, it was all in the late 80s. This was very typical of retail distribution chains. But in March of 93, Kmart had a big meeting where the CEO said to all the biggest suppliers of retail stuff in America, look, we're sorry we beat you up. Please come back and we'll work with you and we'll play nice and so forth. Like Walmart was playing nice in relative how Kmart was. So since then, the idea of okay, we've got to make it a win-win has ascended. I don't hear a lot of abusive stories anymore. Retail. Also, part of it is the chains have all consolidated. Where there used to be regional chains or national chains, fewer, bigger guys. Many of them have started on a very much more scientific basis to backward integrate into the 10% of the items that are 50% of the volume or the 20% of the items that are 80% of the volume. But the bottom 50% of the items that are only 10% of the spend dollars, often they'll say, you know what, let's give that to distributors and have them sort of take care of it just in time. And this will, instead of buying from a lot of different vendors, we'll let them buy from all the vendors. And we'll just buy from them, so we'll consolidate our procurement costs substantially. But what happens is these are so many little items that are such small little picks that even the margin markup distributor has is often not enough to cover the cost of picking, in a sense. CTP, I'm going to invent a new term here. And distributors have to say, oh, I've got a lot of what you want in the bottom 50% of all your SKUs that are small dollars spent, but I've got to round it out. So I'm going to go to master distributors myself and buy stuff to sort of fill in. Well, in a line item profit analytics basis, when I look at distributors buying from master distributors, the master distributors almost always are net losers. It doesn't mean that of the 300 items we buy from a given master distributor that some of them aren't profitable, but enough of them are unprofitable that the whole line is unprofitable. Now, when I look at a distributor buying from a master distributor, as far as cutting your margin percent in half, but more than tripling your turns, the turn earn seems to make sense, and you do get a one-time cash flow pop. So that says yes, buy from master distributors. But the problem is we still have SKUs that are net losers. So we either have to raise those prices a lot, or we need to go back to our customers and say, look, I'm happy to provide one-stop shopping for you to help you consolidate, the 50-10 crowd, the segment of what you need. But where instead of cutting invoices to 50 different suppliers direct and waiting a long time and having to buy more, I would like to, for every vendor get a certain fee, or, because if you're saving a lot of paperwork costs, I need to have half of that. In theory, I could just raise the prices 1,800% on some of these items, but that's just not going to work. So we need to sort of match activity costs and activity benefits in the relationship so that we balance them out. So I put a question mark here because I've not seen any distributor yet deal successfully with this problem, nor have I seen any master distributor identify this problem and figure out how to, with line item profit analytics math, to actually go and collaboratively figure out how to sell a lot more to and through distributors on a win-win basis. So those are ideas that come out of a case study on an abusive regional building material chain. Thank you.